Up next, we have Ivan Raiklin, Deep State Marauder, Secretary of Retribution, and former Green Beret.
Okay, they're giving me a few minutes, so it won't be a 3-hour diatribe if you know who I am. So I am the Deep State Marauder. I am the guy that's going to help identify the individual scum that are behind the military-industrial complex at the highest levels of both major political parties in America. Number 2, I can help identify individually by name, date, place, and transgression those scum that were part of the entire censorship industrial complex over on the left coast. So, what does that mean? I'll explain. So there's a guy by the name of Jim Baker who used to be the general counsel over at the FBI just down the street, meaning the senior lawyer. He was the one behind the authorization to spy on all of you through unlawful means and violating your Fourth Amendment. Then, what happened to this guy? We started to scratch the surface and identify his corruption. So then he goes over to San Francisco, over to Twitter 1.0, as the Deputy General Counsel, the number 2 lawyer, as he coordinated from the West Coast with his former employees, employers, and subordinates over here at the FBI headquarters to censor anything and everything that was truthful related to the COVID con, related to the DNA mutilation injections, related to anything that was discussed. Who here attended the Defeat the Mandates last year? Most of you. This scumbag, Jim Baker, was the one that coordinated the whole thing to censor you into oblivion. Why? Because it's all about follow the money, spelled science with the capital $ for the S, capital C like the cent sign for the C. Instead of an I, it's a Y like the yen sign in Japan. The E's are like the euro. These scumbags, all they were about was making money off of your DNA, off of your health, off of your liberties. What else? So if they were doing that and they were using, let's say, the subcontracted company to go ahead and officially fact check that, known as Reuters, I pronounce it Roy-Tards. Well, the CEO of Roy-Tards, James Smith, was one of the board members of Pfizer. Isn't that convenient? So a lot of people don't know these details, but as me and my teams identify these scumbags by name, date, place, transgression down to the pixel level, it is high time to now take things to the next level and ratchet it up a trillion squared on steroids. And what I'm referring to is shining maximum light. What happens when you shine a couple trillion lumens on an ant and put a magnifying glass in between? I'll tell you. Use your imagination. So that's what we're doing. We're trying to work with the following individuals to take things to the next level. So I see here some folks. Tomorrow we're going to have some more folks. And my call to action today is, if Elon Musk and Joe Rogan continue to sit on the sidelines or kind of be half nilly-willy, they're going to miss an opportunity if they don't show up here tomorrow with speakers such as RFK Jr., Tulsi Gabbard, Brent Weinstein, Matt Taibbi, and many others. Remember, Brent Weinstein, when he did an interview with Tucker Carlson, he said, "We are assembling the dream team," which means We collectively are probably the most critical thinking, politically astute Americans, and we've had absolutely enough of the belligerent, illegitimate executive branch as well as legislative branch actions, and in some instances, the judiciary. We have folks in Congress that are, what are they doing? They are funding, proving to America that they are Ukraine first politicians, Israel first politicians, and in many instances, and I'm talking about both political parties, Chinese Communist Party first politicians. That is unacceptable. So the way we fix this, with or without an election in November, with or without really either of the two front-running candidates going into potentially being the president just over here. And I don't know if she's in there or if the dementia guy's in there, but hopefully they can hear this. With or without an election, with or without a Kamala or a Donald Trump, we collectively that are gathered digitally, now uncensored on X. By the way, we're live streaming on X, thank you, Elon. And live streaming on Rumble. For those that don't know where to find this on Rumble, these two men have stepped up to go ahead and broadcast on Rumble, thanks to Chris Kozlowski, to push out the free speech content on those two platforms. And not only are men stepping up, we got an absolutely fantastic woman here. Where's Angela? Angela McCardle. We'll give her a few seconds. She's running this entire operation. So think for yourself, what does it take to put something like this on? It requires months of pre-planning, coordination with speakers, coordination with staff, coordination with free speech providers over at the Big Make Show. That's the type of American women that I want to see more of, that actually are in the breach, pushing forward the truth, whatever the cost. Because guess what? These scumbags over here that are around us, they're doing everything in their power to stop you from physically being here, to stop you from being able to consume the information that we're providing as insiders. 25 years in the system, knowing in and out the national security apparatus and its corruption down to the pixel level. So I want to close with this. Angela, if you could please come up here. I want the biggest round of applause and cheer, because this woman right here literally single-handedly has put on massive events. Who remembers her from the Libertarian Party convention? Yep, she did that. Who remembers her from Defeat the Mandates? Yep, she had a role in that. And now we have this event and tomorrow's event. We need more leaders to step forward, men and women, to push through all the censorship and to call on Elon Musk and Joe Rogan and the other influencers out there that have an audience. Let's go ahead and break through the censorship. Let's get in this fight to, number one, castrate the deep state and then crush the commies globally. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ivan. I really appreciate it.